Hey cats, it's your midsole man EDDBUD here. It's yay or nay time, where I take a look at 4 forthcoming or soon to be released running shoes and let you know what I think of them. Today checking out the Evo SL ATR from Adidas, the Adios Pro 5 from Adidas, the bizarre Adidas Equipment Adios Pro, and also a sneak peek at the Fast R Nitro Elite 3.1. So checking out the recently released Evo SL ATR. This is like an all-terrain version of the Evo SL with a new outsole and a slightly updated upper in terms of materials and design. There's a mudguard around the front section of the shoe, around the toe box there. It's going to provide a little bit more structure perhaps to that upper, maybe protect your toes a little bit. This doesn't really look to be an all-out trail shoe. Perhaps just a slightly more robust version of a sort of daily road shoe. The outsole does feature some continental rubber there. We have a spread of lugs, which should make the shoe a little bit more capable within the winter months, which are very firmly on the doorstep right now. The smoother rubber of the standard version worked just fine for me out there in some very sort of testing weather. It's fine on concrete, maybe even some gravel and road. I found it lacked a little bit of traction on some smooth wet surfaces, but that's the case for most daily shoes. The outsole could provide a different flavour to the model and extend its use case somewhat, perhaps into lighter trails. The laces are changed up too. They've clearly been listening to us. We've got serrated laces in the ATR version. I doubt it's going to change the feel of the shoe all that much in terms of the extra weight from the upper. At least we can dial in the lockdown a little bit more. The mesh structure on the standard version did mean that sometimes thicker socks were required in cooler weather. It might be that this one's a tad warmer on the old tootsies. I think that most people will want to know if this is an improvement over the standard version, so it's a yay on the ADIZERO EVO SL ATR. If you're enjoying today's episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you're informed of all the new videos that launch. Also give this video a thumbs up like. Also drop us a hype as well. There's a button somewhere down here that will allow you to hype the video and get it out to some more viewers perhaps. I'd very much appreciate it. Dankeschön. Next up, the Pro 5. This is a shoe that's gaining some interest from runners, perhaps considering it for their marathon efforts in 2026. The new images that are circulating around the net do point towards some significant changes though to this model. Let's take a closer look at those and try and figure out exactly what they are, if we can. The major thing here is the plate, which is visible across the whole of the midsole, back and sides. Reminds me a bit of that halo sort of ring, I suppose, that we had in the Adizero Evo Prime X, that like ultra shoe they produced for the 100-kilometer race. And it kind of reminds me, the way it's poking out there at the back, of the Prime X3 Strung. I don't think this is going to be like a full-length plate. I can't see Adidas implementing one of those. It's been many years since they did that. I think perhaps it's more there for stabilization in terms of like that ring around the edge of the shoe. But one thing that's really foxed me is on the outsole. You can see there that there's no little window where we can see energy rods, and let's not forget that that was a big problem they had with the Adios Pro 4 due to the softness of the foam. The rods were cracking quite a lot. I know a lot of people that managed to crack the rods in that shoe, and they contacted Adidas to just send them a brand new pair. So does this filled in section mean that there's no rods? Perhaps there is a full plate in the mid to forefoot of the shoe. If it's not rods, what are they going to use instead if it's not a plate? Something must be there in that sort of mid to forefoot section to provide a bit of stability, especially if they're using that new version of the Light Strike Pro formula. Is much softer. It's just all speculation right now though. What do you think is in there? Let me know in the comments. The softer nature of the Pro 4 wasn't for everybody. I know Andy the Fod Runner was particularly into the Pro 3, that more responsive midsole feel. Do I think that they're gonna revert back to that in this shoe? Not a chance. Super shoes are only getting softer. I think it'll feature that newer, softer Light Strike Pro material that was found in the V4. Like it or not, That's what every manufacturer is going for in their top-end shoes. The rest of the shoe, and certainly the outsole there, seems to be very close to the V4, which in all fairness was good in terms of durability and traction. It's definitely a yay on the Adios Pro 5 when it releases, whenever that is. Were you a fan of the Pro 3? Well, you might be able to sort of get the same feel of that shoe with this next one. It looks like Adidas had some of the Pro 3 midsoles left. This is the Equipment Adios Pro. So it's basically the Adios Pro 3 midsole, literally without any changes, and they've just strapped on this upper that's got hints of the Takumi-san 8 upper, especially in the heel. And we see the energy rods there. Are they the same ones we had in the Pro 3? Probably. But the striking thing about this shoe is that bulky lifestyle-like upper that we've got there. There's reflective parts across the toe box and the heel, perhaps a hint at the intended use case of the shoe. Maybe that's like leisure, night running, or perhaps a jaunt round the Christmas fair to purchase some nice locally made mince pies, or a seasonal Yule log. Either way, Pro 3s are hard to get now. If you're finding it difficult to get a fresh pair, this might be the only way that you can find that midsole and outsole combo. It's a nay for me on this one. 180 Earth credit remix is not what I need. Lastly, what do you make of this? This is the Fast R Nitro Elite 3.1. From Puma. Seems to be very close to the existing 3, though obviously with a squared off heel this time rather than that very pronounced rocker. You had a real bevel in the standard V3. I think that was to try and get around the World Athletics stack height limit. They just put that bevel in there so it looks like it's a bit lower. There are 2 versions of this shoe listed, an S and a W. Maybe that's standard, maybe that's wide. It could be like standard or perhaps a women's version. All speculation. Don't think we got extra stack in the heel. Without the special bevel which overcame the athletics measurement rules, a 40mm for the sample size at the specific distance from the back of the shoe, they simply can add more stack to the back of the shoe. That's not going to work. They'd have to lower it down a little bit at the back if they're going to block out the heel like this. I can't say that I agree with sites like Run Repeat who mentioned that the V3 was like unstable at all. I found it a really stable super shoe with any foot strike really in testing. I kind of try it out with different foot strikes. How does it feel? And it just felt fine really however I ran in it. Adding all the extra foam into the heel, that's going to change the way the shoe feels. Just feels like they're changing it for change's sake there. The shoe's an absolute banger. Just make more of them, please. Maybe that's why they're adding the 3.1 moniker rather than the 4. Is there enough of a change there? I mean, the upper looks practically the same as the current version. I don't think this is going to surface anytime soon. In fact, it might even just be like a specific version for some elite runners, maybe some of the sponsored Puma athletes. Perhaps it's aimed at a very particular person, in fact. Who knows? I'm actually going to abstain from giving a yay or nay on this one for the time being until we know some more details on it. What do you make of these 4 in today's episode? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Very quick musical interlude for you. Today, a track from the Prodigy, Everybody in the Place, the Fairground remix. That is the best version of the track. I have distinct memories of listening to my CD single version of this in my mum and dad's living room back around Christmas time. I can remember sitting there listening to it over and over again and wondering what magic was used to create it. Even now, when you're listening to this one while you're out running, it gives you that energy boost. It's really up for it. There's some banging beats. I like the combination of the breakbeat samples and some of the drum machine samples as well. It just really propels you forward. It's a great track to have in your playlist to give you that extra boost forwards, perhaps if you're doing some reps or intervals, to keep that cadence nice and high and stay in the zone. The Prodigy with Everybody in the Place. Thanks for tuning in, people. It's always appreciated. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up like, drop us a hype as well if you can find it down below. My name's EDDBUD and I'll be seeing you